Government contractors are companies or organizations that enter into agreements with the government agencies to provide goods and services for the government. These entities can be privately owned, publicly traded, or state-owned enterprises, and they can operate under profit or non-profit organizations. Their primary role is to fulfill the needs of the government under specific contracts, which can range from producing military equipment to providing IT services or construction work. In particular regions such as North Virginia, they are a major contributor to the local economy. The process of becoming a government contractor typically involves bidding on contracts released by the government agencies. Companies submit proposals detailing how they will meet the contract requirements, often competing on factors like cost, expertise, and ability to deliver on time. The process and requirements for becoming a registered vendor can vary based on location and specific government agency. For significant purchases, anything above $25,000, the government generally publishes its requirements publicly, inviting bids from registered vendors. Larger companies often bid on federal projects, while smaller companies may focus on state and local contracts aligned with their capabilities and resources. Another thing to note is federal government contractors are restricted from making contributions or expenditures in federal elections. This prohibition applies to the contractor itself as well as individuals and sole proprietors under contract with the federal government. However, spouses and employees of these contractors may make contributions from their personal funds. This prohibition is in place from the time a request for proposal is issued or negotiations begin and remains until contract is completed or negotiations have terminated. Some of the biggest contractors specialize in defense, aerospace technology, and engineering. Here's an overview of some of the notable ones. First, we have Boeing. Boeing is known for its commercial airplanes. Boeing also has a defense, space, and security unit, and it is a prime contractor for the Missile Defense Agency's Ground-Based Mid-Course Defense, a key defense system for the U.S. in 2022. Boeing received a significant contract modification to support this missile defense system. Next, we have Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin is a company that is a major player in the security and aerospace sector, focusing on the development and integration of advanced technology systems. One of its key contracts in 2022 involved producing aircraft for the U.S. Navy's Joint Strike Fighter program. Next, we have General Dynamics. General Dynamics specializes in manufacturing a wide range of military products, including tactical vehicles, munitions, and submarines. In 2022, it received a notable contract to replace U.S. Navy's Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines. Finally, we have Northrop Grumman, a universal aerospace and defense company. Northrop Grumman provides solutions ranging from aircraft and spacecraft to cybersecurity systems. This company secured a significant contract in 2022 to design and develop modern missile defense systems. The distribution of the U.S. defense budget for the fiscal year of 2022 amounts to approximately $857.9 billion, and it is allocated across various departments and programs within the Defense Department as well as national security programs within the Department of Energy. In terms of the departmental allocations in the different military branches, the Army received $177.5 billion, the Air Force and Space Force received $194 billion, and finally the Navy and Marine Corps received $230.8 billion. In terms of the key areas of spending for that year, first up we have nuclear modernization and R&D. A recent focus on upgrading the nation's aging nuclear weapons and developing new technologies, including hypersonic weapons and missile warning satellites. We also have procurement, funding for new weapons, vehicles, and systems, including aircraft ships, and development of new technologies like the B-21 Raider bombers. Next, let's try to understand the process of submitting proposals proposals for government contracts, particularly through the request for proposals or RFPs. There are several steps involved, 7 included. The first step of the process is understanding the requirements. The RFP will clearly outline the government's requirements, which is the prospective contractor needs to fully understand. Next, we have anticipated terms and conditions. The RFP will also include terms and conditions applicable to the contract. It may allow offerors to propose alternative terms and conditions. Next, we get to the actual proposal contents. The RFP specifies what information must be included in the proposal. Next, we have the evaluation criteria. The RFP describes the factors and sub-factors used to evaluate the proposal and their relative importance. Next, we have the use of electronic commerce. RFPs and proposals can often be issued and received electronically. The specific electronic methods permissible will be outlined in the RFP. Next, in some cases, proposals via facsimile may be authorized. Consider factors like proposal size, urgency of the requirements, and availability of electronic commerce methods. Finally, in certain situations, such as sole source acquisitions, a more simplified letter RFP might be used. Oral RFPs are authorized in urgent cases where written solicitation would delay the acquisition. So, why does the government rely on contractors? Can they not build these equipments themselves? The U.S. government reliance on defense contractors is rooted in a variety of factors. Following the Cold War, there was a trend towards outsourcing in the military, similar to the broader government trends. The use of contractors instead of a military service members or government civilians was seen as a way to perform certain tasks more efficiently. This approach has been particularly evident in operations since September 11, 2001 attacks, where defense contractors have not only handled the logistics, but also crucial tasks like training and equipping security forces. The belief that using contractors is more efficient stems from the perception that private companies can provide specialized services more effectively than military or government personnel. Contractors often possess niche expertise and can rapidly adapt to changing technologies and operational requirements. This flexibility allows for a more agile response to specific needs without the long-term costs and commitments associated with expanding the military or government workforce. Additionally, outsourcing certain functions to contractors can lead to cost savings, as it can reduce the need for permanent staff, training, and benefits. The use of contractors is also seen as a way to maintain a smaller and more effective military force capable of scaling up or down as needed without the constraints of government bureaucracy. So, what are some downsides of utilizing government contractors? First, the use of contractors in the military and defense operations, while offering flexibility and specialized skills, also presents the challenge of dependency on external entities for critical military functions, potentially compromising effective security, and this reliance may lead to challenges in maintaining control and oversight, raising concerns about accountability, especially in conflict zones. Additionally, the profit-driven nature of contractors can sometimes lead to cost overruns and inefficiencies. In some cases, the use of contractors have been linked to ethical and legal issues, including corruption and human rights violations. Finally, the relying heavily on contractors can erode the internal capabilities of the military, as critical skills and knowledge may reside outside of the government's direct control. Finally, let's break down some statistics relating to the government contractors. There are over 5,138 government contractors currently employed in the United States. 45.4% of all government contractors are women, while 54.6% are men. The average age of government contractors is 46 years old. The most common ethnicity of government contractors is white, with 70.6%, followed by Hispanic or Latino, 17.7%, Unknown is about 4.5%, and Black or African American is about 3.8%. In 2022, women earn 93% of what men earn. 4% of all government contractors are LGBTQ. Government contractors are 67% more likely to work at private companies in comparison to public companies.